How many browser tabs does it take to serve a single client? If you run an agency, you probably just did the mental arithmetic and came up with a number you are not especially proud of. There is the CRM, there is the invoicing tool, there is the project board, there is the intake form builder, the e-signature service, the support inbox, the reporting dashboard, and somewhere in the middle of all of it, a spreadsheet nobody admits to maintaining. Each one holds a slightly different version of the truth about the same customer, and the job of reconciling those versions falls to a human being who was hired to do creative work. Welcome back to the next Biz Thing. I am Marcus J. Diploma, and this is the show where we go looking for the companies quietly solving problems that everyone else has simply learned to live with. Not the loud ones, not the ones raising enormous rounds and putting their name on a stadium, but the ones that noticed a specific, grinding, everyday frustration and decided to build the thing that removes it. Today's business is exactly that kind of company, and the frustration it removes is one I suspect a lot of you are living with right now. The company is called Wayfront, and it is a client portal built for agencies that sell productized services. Now that phrase does a lot of work, so let me unpack it. A productized service is what happens when an agency stops quoting every job from scratch and starts selling a defined package at a defined price. A monthly SEO retainer, a fixed number of video edits, a content bundle, a podcast production plan. It is one of the most powerful shifts an agency can make because it turns unpredictable custom work into something repeatable, something you can forecast, something you can actually scale. But the moment you sell a service that way, you inherit a whole new set of operational demands. Clients expect to buy without a sales call. They expect to see progress without emailing you. They expect billing to just happen. And the tools most agencies stitch together were never designed to work that way together. Wayfront's answer is to consolidate the entire client relationship into a single synced client record. Billing and subscription management sit in the same place as the CRM. Project and order management sit next to the intake forms. The forms come with e-signatures built in, so a client can commission work and sign for it in the same motion. There is a help desk for support tickets, so client conversations do not vanish into a personal inbox. There is analytics and reporting, including reporting built specifically for SEO agencies, which is one of those details that tells you the product was shaped by people who actually listen to their customers rather than guessing at what they might want. There are referral and affiliate programs for agencies that grow through partners. There is a white label reseller setup for agencies whose clients are themselves agencies. And underneath all of it, there is a developer API, so anything the platform does not do natively can still be connected. The point of gathering all of that under one roof is not really the feature list. The point is what disappears when you do it. The manual copying between systems disappears. The moment where a client's subscription says one thing and the project board says another disappears. The awkward conversation where nobody can find the signed brief disappears. And crucially, the client's experience stops feeling like a tour of your software stack. They see one branded portal that looks like your agency, behaves like your agency, and carries your name rather than someone else's. Here is the part of the story I find most interesting, and I think it explains a lot about why the product feels the way it does. Wayfront did not begin as a software idea. It began in 2014 when a founder named Chris Willow was running a video production agency and hit exactly the wall we have been describing. He was juggling separate tools for CRM, for checkout, for forms, for the help desk, for project management, and the seams between them were consuming time that should have been going into the work. So he built the thing he needed. He called it Service Provider Pro, and other agency owners started asking if they could use it too. In February of 2026, the company rebranded to the name it carries now, Wayfront, but the origin has never really changed shape. This is still software built by an operator for other operators, and you can feel that in the choices it makes. The company is based in Riga, Latvia, trading as Client Solutions Limited, and here is where the story takes a turn that is genuinely uncommon in this industry. Wayfront is bootstrapped. It has taken no outside investment, and it has been profitable since it started. Willow has been quite direct about this, framing it as a deliberate rejection of the venture-backed startup model. His reasoning is simple and, I think, rather beautiful. If you are in the agency business, you already understand how much sustainability matters. Agencies live and die on retained relationships, on delivering the same quality in month 24 as in month 1. A supplier who might pivot, get acquired, or run out of runway is a genuine risk to that. So the company chose the model that mirrors its customers' own values. The practical consequence of being bootstrapped is that revenue funds the product rather than funding the marketing. There is no enormous advertising budget bidding for attention. Growth comes largely from word of mouth, from one agency owner telling another that this thing solved a problem they had both been complaining about for years. That is the slowest possible way to grow a software company, and it is also the most honest one, because it only works if the product genuinely delivers. You cannot buy your way past a bad experience when your entire acquisition channel is people recommending you, and by any reasonable measure, it has worked. Thousands of digital agencies now run on the platform. Collectively, they have processed more than $500 million in client services through it, with millions of dollars in transactions flowing through in a typical week. The customer list includes names that people in the SEO and agency world will recognize immediately, including Loganix, GMB Gorilla, and VidPros. The agencies using it span SEO, content marketing, video editing, podcast editing, and social media, which tells you the underlying model is broad rather than narrow. Anyone selling a repeatable service to recurring clients has the same core operational shape. The customer voices are worth hearing directly because they point at different kinds of value. Victoria Lee, from an agency called 100 Pound Social, says that with Wayfront, their client base has grown by 215%. That is a growth story, and it speaks to what happens when the operational ceiling lifts and you can take on more clients without proportionally more admin. Nick Maher, from an agency called IcePick, puts it differently. He says everything client-facing is handled through Wayfront. That is not a growth claim at all. That is a simplicity claim, and I would argue it is the harder one to earn. Getting an agency to move one workflow into your product is a sale. Getting them to move every client-facing workflow into it is trust. So why does any of this matter beyond the agencies themselves? I think it matters because it sits at the intersection of two shifts that are reshaping a lot of professional services right now. The first demand is productization, the steady move away from bespoke, quoted, endlessly negotiated work toward defined offers with defined outcomes. That shift is good for clients, who get clarity on price and scope, and good for agencies, who get predictability. But it only holds together if the operations behind it are equally defined, which is precisely the gap Wayfront fills. The second shift is a quieter reckoning with software sprawl. For a decade, the instinct was to add another specialized tool for every function. Now, a lot of businesses are counting the true cost of that. The subscriptions, yes, but more importantly, the integration work, the data drift, and the mental overhead of holding a dozen systems in your head. A consolidation is starting to look less like a compromise and more like an advantage. There is a third thing here too, and it is about what kind of company you want as a partner. Wayfront's independence is not a marketing angle bolted on afterwards. It is a structural choice that shapes what the company can and cannot do, and it aligns its incentives with the agencies it serves. Both are trying to build something durable rather than something that spikes. If you run an agency, or you are thinking about turning what you do into something repeatable and sellable, this is a company worth a proper look. Go and see how the pieces fit together, because the whole argument only really lands when you see billing, projects, forms, support, and reporting sitting on one client record instead of 5. And if you are not in the agency world at all, I would still encourage you to take the lesson. The most valuable products are very often built by somebody who was drowning in a problem and decided to build the raft, then discovered that half the industry was drowning in the same water. That is Wayfront, built in Riga, bootstrapped since 2014, and quietly running the back office for thousands of agencies who would rather be doing the work than reconciling the tools. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this episode gave you something useful, share it with someone who is currently staring at too many browser tabs. I have been Marcus J. Diploma. This has been the next Biz Thing, and I will see you next time when we go looking for another company building something worth knowing about.